Bam Adebayo, or however you pronounce his name, scored 83 points. So let's react to this episode of First Take. I cannot wait to hear what they have to say.
Let's go to the NBA, because Wizards and Heat was not at the top of anyone's radar yesterday, but it quickly moved there as Bam Adebayo's point total began to rise. He had 31 in the first quarter, 60 by late in the third, and his teammates began fouling to preserve time and ultimately help Bam eclipse Kobe.
That's crazy.
He's 81 points. Bam Adebayo finished with 83 points in the Heat's win over the Wizards. His previous career high was 41 points. Bam went on an astonishing 36 of 43 from the free throw line. Here he was.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I don't even care about the 36 part. 43 free throws. I looked up a thing earlier today on how many teams averaged in the 2000s for free throws. And it shows somewhere around 22 to 25 a game. And a player in 2026 shot 46 of them. Or 43 of them. Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
How does it feel to hear your name with Will, Bam, Kobe?
And these clowns are celebrating that.
Obviously, it's top 3 performances of all time. Hell yeah.
No, it's not. It's not a top performance. This era of basketball is sad. If they don't do anything about it, the NBA will be bankrupt. It will be. The All-Star Game is already not watchable. The games are becoming that point. The games are getting to that point.
So with his performance, Adebayo now joins a list of basketball royalty. He's just the third player in NBA history to drop 80 points in a game. He officially scored more than Kobe's 81 against Toronto in 2006, and only shy of Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game back in 1962. Now we have a chance to reflect back on this performance last night. Stephen A. is actually in South Beach, right down the street from where this all went down. How amazing!
Say a few words, then let Doggy go, because Lord knows he's going to be the spoiler alert coming up with him. But 83 points is 83 points, and Bam Adebayo is one of the best.
I disagree. I disagree. If you take 43 shots and 43 free throws, I disagree. Watching Shaquille O'Neal, watching the most dominant big man of the game in the 2000s, when you look at guys like that, I would think that at some point in their career they shot 40 free throws. Shaq never did. Even with Hack-a-Shaq. Let that sink in for a second. With how people were trying to foul him, he never shot that many free throws. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong with the actual references to where he shot over 40 free throws.
People that you could ever meet in professional sports. He's a really good guy. He's a 3-time All-Star. He's a better than average player. He's a pretty damn good player. He's an All-Star caliber player. He's not that kind of scorer. I mean, before this, his career high was 41 points for crying out loud. So for him to drop 83.
So his career high was lower than the amount of free throws he took. Let that sink in.
Points last night. There's a lot of things that we could take into consideration that I would leave to Doggy before I come back and piggyback Doggy and correct him on the error of some of his ways. But in the end, what it comes down to, he hit 7 3-pointers. He ended up with 83 points, second all time to Wilt Chamberlain's a passing Kobe's 81 points. And in the end, what it comes down to is that, hey, 83 points is 83.
How impressed are you with Bam's 83-point night? 20 and 43 NBA records for free throws, making 36 and attempting 43 in the game. That's crazy.
3 points. I'll bring up the Wizards part and all of that other stuff a little bit later. But Doggy, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Steven, you want to bow down on this? Go bow down. I'm not bowing down. He took 43 shots. When David Thompson...
43 shots, okay. You're gonna take that many shots if you score in the 70s and 80s. I get it. Even if you took 50, great. But 40 plus free throws. You are not attacking the basket every single shot. They're fouling you to make sure you score. That's what I see from it. I didn't watch the game to see what actually happened, but I'm willing to guess at some point they started fouling him intentionally so that he'll score more points.
1978 scored 73. He was 28 of 38 from the field. When Doncic did it a few years ago, he was 25 of 38. Even Kobe only took 46 shots. He made 28 of them. He took 43 shots, under 50%, which there's 9 guys. Wilt did it 5 times. There's 9 guys over 70. He's by far the worst shooting percentage.
Wow.
22 threes. 22 threes in the game? He's a 7-footer. I know.
The only player that I can look at to shoot that many threes is Steph Curry. Steph Curry, if he takes that many threes, you're not mad at it because those are layups to him. But anyone else, why? Why? This is the basketball we have now, and people are trying to say this is better than what was in the 2000s and the 1990s. It's a joke. It's a joke. There's absolutely no defense. There's absolutely no respect to the game. No respect. And the coach as well. Anyways, I'm going into too much detail.
22, but here's the worst thing. Well, first off, what Spoelstra did with the shenanigans of the game is a complete disgrace. And there's always some example of that. Wilt had some shenanigans with it.
Look at this. So these are all the games over 70 points over the last 20 years. Let's see. Kobe at the bottom, 61%, 81 points. Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard with at least 70. 53, 65, 58. Joel Embiid, 59%. Yeah, Bam is by far the worst. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. With the amount of shots he took too, if it wasn't for the free throws, he would be maybe 60 points.
And 62, I understand there's always a little fooling around with the game, but the Heat fouling the Wizards right away to stop the clock.
Less than that.
When you're up by 40, and the third thing is...
When you're up by... They were up by 40? I did not know that detail. So they were up, and the coach decided to leave him in. I lost respect for the Miami Heat coach. I lost it. No class. You have a whole bench that you could play. Nope. Let me keep my starter in so they can pad their stats.
He took 43 free throws in the game. 43 free throws. You know the career high of Kobe and Jordan in the free throws are 27. So let me get this straight. Bam shot 16 more free throws in a game that Jordan ever did, that Kobe ever did. I mean, that's what he did. He took 43, 36 to 43. Wilt was 28 of 32.
You know, when it says Kobe and Jordan only shot that many, for them it's a bit more understandable because they played in the mid-range. They didn't attack the basket that much. Jordan more so, okay. But for this comparison, I picked Shaq. I picked Dwight Howard. Big men that were dominant. Big men that get fouled a lot. Yet they didn't go over 40 free throws. That should be something that everybody questions that knows basketball. And the funny thing is, 22 of these guys' field goals were three-pointers. What about this is impressive? Yeah, everyone looks at this and is impressed by it. You don't understand the sport at all. You don't. And the circumstances to make it worse. You're up by 40.
When he had the 119-62, 28 of 32, and he took 14 more free throws.
Wilt, one of the most dominant big men ever. That's insane. That's insane.
I mean, calm down. Listen, 83 points, go ahead. Put the sign up, enjoy it, bow down, have fun. Social media, nothing dead. You want to call me a guy who's going to be a dark cloud? Go ahead. I don't care. Old man screaming on my lawn.
No, you're right. You're right. Anyone that watched the game, and I'm not talking about this generation. You watch this generation, the last one, and the one before. That's how your words have more weight. You saw everything. How can people now that watch the game and only saw this version know anything? They don't. You don't have context. You'll be biased towards what you saw. You don't have anything to compare it to if you're only witnessing the game now.
Not interested. But when you shoot 43 times and shoot less than 50%, when you shoot 40 throws, and you go 7 for 22 from 3 against a horrendous team, and you're in the game in the last 5 minutes, and Spoelstra's fouling the Wizards to get...
Man, this is, I mean, Bam, okay. The coach is who I don't have respect for. The coach. When you're up by that much, you bench your starter so your bench players can play. You're up by 30, 40 points. Why do you have your star players still playing? I know why. To pad their stats. This is what the era has become. Stat padding, triple doubles, 50 points every other night. A couple of months ago, there was a bench player I never heard that scoring 50 off the bench. Like, this is what it's becoming. And it's getting worse. It was the All-Star weekend. Now it's becoming the entire NBA. It's hard to watch now. The thing about the All-Star weekend you look forward to now is the three-point contest. You don't look forward to the dunk contest anymore, the skill challenge, or the All-Star game. And now the game is becoming the same thing. It's sad. It's sad. The NBA brand is being destroyed.
More possession so he can score 83 points. That's not the way it should be. And I'll tell you right now, he'd never admit it. I bet you Pat Riley feels the same way. That's what I would say.
What? Oh, Pat Riley. Okay, yes. Yes. I kept thinking he was still the Miami Heat coach for some reason.
Let me say this to you, Doggy. Shockingly, I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with you.
Shockingly? Anyone that disagrees with the statement, you don't know the sport. You don't know the sport. You only know numbers. And even in this situation, the numbers don't favor him. They don't.
Your tone and who you're directing this ire at. It's not Bam Adebayo's fault. The brother had 31 points in the first quarter. He had 43 at halftime. He had 62 through 3 quarters, and he had 70 points with 9 minutes left. It ain't his fault.
Yeah, I get that.
That the Washington Wizards are trash. It's not his fault that you literally had them being participants in this career night because...
Yeah, it's crazy. How can your opponent help you like that? How? Where's the competitive fire? If I'm playing against you, I want to destroy you. I want to make sure that you don't play anymore. I want to make sure that you reevaluate coming the next time to compete against me. That's the goal. What's up with this? No competitive fire whatsoever.
But at some point in time, they pose pretty much no resistance, okay? Then you're talking about cats fouling folks on purpose just to get more possessions, to give Bam Adebayo an opportunity.
And they're all clapping. You guys are just, you're straight up weak people.
Record and stuff like that. Certainly they tainted it. It's not his fault. He went out there and did what he was supposed to do. And even though he didn't shoot 50% from the field, last time I checked, Doggy, shooting 48, 47% from the field is not bad either. He hit 20 or 43 shots, okay? It wasn't like it was 13 or 43. He hit 20 or 43 shots. That's close enough, okay? Wasn't great.
Please, if it was Kobe Bryant shooting 45%, 46%, 47%, you people will have been running your mouths his whole career about inefficiency. You've been doing that his whole career. So shut up about that statement and keep the same energy with everybody. Don't overblow this game. Don't overblow it. This doesn't qualify to be in those conversations. It doesn't.
3-point range, 7 of 22 when Kobe shot 7 of 13. When Kobe did it...
Look at this.
Kobe did it within the flow of his game and the game itself. It got to a point where they were giving him the rock because they knew.
Yeah, they were giving him the rock. Duh. If you're hot, people are going to give you the ball. But in this situation here, your opponent is fouling you so that you go to the free throw line. How's that a good thing? How? Like, I don't understand.
That Kobe was going for it. He hit 28 or 46 shots. He hit 7 of 13 threes. He was in constant attack mode. I know Sam Mitchell, the coach of the Toronto Raptors, former coach of the year, by the way. We know what he brings, what he brought to the table as a damn good head coach. What did he say? We did everything. We doubled him. You understand? Yeah. We did everything that we could.
They tried to stop him. That's the difference. They didn't try to help him score. That's the big difference. There was still a need for him to score that. In this game, they already won the game by the third quarter. As a coach, why do you do that? Why? I don't understand. I'm looking at the coach, not the player. And I'm looking at the opposing team as well. What are you guys doing?
We changed defenders on him. Kobe just gave it to us. It's like, damn, what can you do? That clearly was not the case with Bam Adebayo last night. But you can point the finger at Spoelstra. You can point the finger at his team.
Thank you. I know what I'm talking about. For any people that try to say I don't know what I'm talking about, he mentioned the coach too. I'm looking at the coach. Why are you playing your best players when you're up by 30, 40 points? Why? There's other people on that roster that have something to prove. You strip them of that because you're trying to keep your star player to pad their stats. For what? It's sad.
Mates, you can point the finger at how atrocious the Washington Wizards were last night and how this will be a blemish on their franchise for years and years to come. But you can't blame Bam Adebayo because obviously he had it going and he knew it from the first quarter on because he never had a game like that in his life, and we saw that. Okay, this is a guy that was basically a guy who can't catch it alley-oops, but through Erik Spoelstra and his coaching staff led by my man Karan Butler, who was the best friend of Kobe Bryant, by the way, loved Kobe to death. Kobe loved him too, and obviously he's an assistant coach on the Miami Heat that's been working with Bam Adebayo for a long time. Bam is a pretty damn good player. Let's not blame him. That's my only disagreement with you. You act like it's his fault that cat sat up there and laid down and tried to pave the way for him.
When did he say it was his fault? When did he say that? He's reacting to what happened. He didn't say it's his fault.
43 free throws, Steve. 43 free throws.
Exactly. All of that, you're absolutely right. But again, I'm not blaming him for it. I'm blaming them. I'm blaming the game. I'm blaming the Wizards. I'm blaming the Miami Heat. I'm not blaming him. Bam Adebayo can ball. He's not a scrub. He's not a scorer like that. And it wasn't equal to Kobe's performance. It wasn't equal to Wilt Chamberlain's performance.
Thank you. It wasn't equal. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Let's stop overblowing this era of basketball. Not just because of this game. In general, the stats now don't mean the same thing as it did before. A triple-double in the 2000s, triple-doubles now mean nothing. You have more possessions, you have more misses. Therefore, what do you think is going to go up? Rebounds, points. And because points are going up, in order to get the points, you have to receive a pass from somebody. What does that equal? An assist. So every single number is going up. What do you think is going down? Defense. And also, what do you think is going up as well, since there's more possession, less defense? Percentages, 3-point percentages, field goal percentages, they're all going up. The only thing that may be different is free throws. But the only thing I'll say about free throws is players get more free throws attempts now, as you can see here. So let's not compare this era of basketball to any other era, because this era is a cakewalk. It's weak.
That is absolutely true. But this is a day that he deserves to be celebrated because he's one of the good guys that goes about the business of grabbing his lunch pail and showing up to work every day and doing what he can to be the best that he can be. It just so happens that Ime Udoka, the head coach for the Houston Rockets, he has the soundbite of the day when told about Bam Adebayo's performance last night. He brought up the 43 free throws, and then he said, and it was against the Wizards. That's what he said, and that said it all. That's where I get it. But I'm not blaming Bam Adebayo for that. Congrats to him. It's his moment.
He deserves his flowers. 83 points is nothing to shy away from. I agree with that. However, and I'm curious on your thoughts here. If maybe, it doesn't matter who the opponent was, if maybe he didn't pass Kobe, if we erase some of those free throws down the stretch, because it's not like he was having this prolific scoring night in the second half and in the fourth quarter. The first half, yes. But we erase that, and maybe he didn't quite pass Kobe, would we feel different about it? If maybe he was the third of his career?
Nah, we'll feel the same about it because of the free throw attempts. That's a ridiculous number. Think about how many times you have to attack the basket to get that many free throws. That's exhausting. But the thing is, they're intentionally fouling him. With Hack-a-Shaq and Hack-a-Dwight Howard, I never saw that before. This is not normal. This is not normal.
Before that was 41.
we feel significantly different about it from this standpoint. We would mention the fact that he did what he did. We would say it was against the Wizards, and we'd move on. But the fact that it surpassed Kobe's record of 81 points, it demands a more in-depth discussion because now you're comparing the performances. And when you saw Kobe, one would argue Kobe needed to do what he did.
Exactly. That's the point. It was within the flow, it was competitive, and they needed him to score those points. Because they were a trash team. He had to do what he needed to do for the team to win. Eventually, they got up by 15-20 in the fourth quarter at the end of his 81 points. But if you watch the game, it was a close game throughout. And it didn't take a lead until maybe the late third quarter. So it was competitive. But for this game, they were already up by 30 in the third quarter. So how can we say that it's not padding stats?
In that game back in 2006 in order to beat the Toronto Raptors that night. The Toronto Raptors weren't trash. They weren't a team that had you thinking about the swamp.
They were a playoff team in the East. They were a playoff team.
Think about this. We all know how we feel about what the hell has been going on in Washington. That's what we're thinking about when we're talking about the Wizards, okay? You certainly didn't have that kind of mentality when it came to talking about Sam Mitchell's coached Toronto Raptors. No, you weren't thinking along those lines.
Yeah.
And I don't like the sign there. The sign, the famous sign, is Wilt with the 100. That's the sign.
Yeah, but he was trying to emulate that.
Well, he's trying to emulate passing Kobe.
Well, and that too.
He's the sign.
Yeah.
Well, we don't
No.
know because most of us didn't. Only the spectators in attendance saw Will. We all saw Kobe.
But he,
That's the difference.
but he did have the 100 point then. He had
No,
the-
nah. This is. Let me know your thoughts. I have nothing else I need to say here. Anyways, I digress. Let me know what other reactions you'd like to see. Thank you so much for getting to this point of the video. Like, share, subscribe, stay tuned for more reactions. God bless.